The end of chapter 252, Urame says to Hakari that the team of Jujutsu sorcerers should be ashamed of not having a fighter stronger than Gojo. The chapter ended with her giving the monologue that Sukuna at this moment is still not taking the fight seriously. Mind you, Sukuna fought against Gojo, Kashimo, Higuruma, Yuta, Rika, Yuji, and now Maki and Miguel. It's coming to the point where we are asking, who hasn't he fought yet? I'm coming up with these theory videos, but I always want to ask you guys these questions as well because I want to gauge on what your thoughts are on what's happening currently in the story. And today, I just want to talk about whether if Sukuna is too strong of a character. Your tribal chief is thinking of ways on how the remaining Jujutsu sorcerers can still take out Sukuna. These are future theory videos, so do stick around for those when they do drop. But I can't lie, guys. The fact that Urame mentioned that Sukuna isn't even taking the fight seriously in chapter 252 when he was fighting Yuji, Yuta, and Rika at the same time, whilst having his reverse curse technique depleted due to his fight against Gojo, Yuta being dubbed as the second strongest while Rika is dubbed as the Queen of Curses, who is also at a special grade curse level. In Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Gojo himself said that Rika is scary, and Geto actually believed that by capturing Rika, he would be able to take over the world and recreate it with only the strongest Jujutsu sorcerers. He didn't initiate his plan for at least a decade until he saw the power of Rika. Yuta himself is a special grade sorcerer with everyone hyping him up saying he's only number 2 to Gojo. And of course our own Itadori Yuji in a short space of time went from struggling against normal curse spirits to fully dominating and scaring special grade curses, as you saw at the end of the Shibuya incident arc when he had Mahito on the run. So all three of these characters that Sukuna is fighting against in chapter 252, they're not scrubs. They're amongst the elite of the Jujutsu world in terms of strength. Yuji himself is only getting stronger and we still haven't seen his curse technique yet or his domain expansion. I made some theory videos regarding what his domain could be, so do go and check those videos out. But Sukuna against these three monsters is still not taking the fight seriously. Now, the story has fully reversed. Before the Shibuya incident arc and before Gojo got sealed away, one of the issues that the fans would bring up is that Gojo is too strong. Him being there, does that take away the threat of the villains because he will just dominate the villains easily? But now we have Sukuna, who is literally doing what Gojo was doing at the start of the story. The way we saw Gojo easily overpower the 4 disaster curses with such ease is now being replicated with Sukuna. Sukuna is now dominating all of the Jujutsu sorcerers and it's an easy job for him. The fact that Urame said to Hakari that they should be ashamed that they couldn't find a fighter stronger than Gojo speaks volume on the massive power gap between these characters. Now, having said all of this, is Sukuna too strong for the story? Has Akutami actually wrote himself into a corner by writing a character so unbelievably strong? Sukuna has gone full god mode in this story and is just swatting away all of his challenges. Now, seeing an overpowered character can be fun to watch. Seeing Gojo fully take the piss out of Jogo, Hanami and Chozo in the Shibuya incident arc was a joy to see. There's something about seeing demonic monsters running scared from an overpowered human being that really gets you filled with adrenaline. Because the human character, in this case Gojo, is representing us. Because he's a human, albeit an extremely powerful human, but a regular normal looking guy nonetheless with arms and legs just like any of us. But because he represents us and he is overpowering demonic beings that are said to be the strongest in their world, you cheer for Gojo even more because you wouldn't normally see 3 demonic monsters being dominated by one human being. Even when you play games like FIFA, for instance. FIFA is a football game that centers around professional football with all the best teams, but whenever you play online, you would always have people choose the strongest and most overpowered teams to play with. It's not just about winning, but it's about having that satisfaction of seeing complete and utter domination, which is why it was so satisfying seeing Gojo do what he was doing in the early stages of the story. But now we have Sukuna, who is doing the same thing. But the difference between Sukuna and Gojo is that Gojo was a hero, and he wasn't even the main hero either. He was a mentor figure for our main heroes. Now, compare that to Sukuna. With Kenjaku fully dead now, Sukuna is now the ultimate antagonist remaining, and he is obliterating everyone. Gojo was a good guy dominating the bad guys, while Sukuna is a bad guy dominating the good guys. Now, unless there comes a cliffhanger ending with Sukuna winning in the end for a potential sequel series, as much as I feel Jujutsu Kaisen is the only story with an author that's brave enough for a crazy ending like that, I still feel that the chances of that happening is still very slim. In my cliffhanger video, I mentioned that Sukuna can potentially be the ruler of the world, with him having the cursed spirits dominate Earth as the superior race to the humans. Whilst there being a small resistance group of Jujutsu sorcerers, I would actually love to see that. I know a few of you wouldn't want to see that, as you guys would prefer the story wrapping up in a nice bow. But I wouldn't mind seeing an ending like that if it results in a sequel seeing Sukuna and the cursed spirits be the dominant force. But again, like I said, this is highly unlikely, and we would most likely see Sukuna get defeated by the end of the story. But this is your tribal chief's fear. Sukuna has not been taking the fight seriously, and he's fighting off against the strongest sorcerers in the world. If these guys can't defeat him, if Gojo couldn't defeat him, then who can? This is the issue that you create by having such an overpowered villain, and that's the difference between Gojo and Sukuna. Gojo doesn't have to die because he is a hero, but you can kill him off if you have a villain like a Sukuna that is on his level in terms of strength. But a villain of a story, you have to eventually kill off at some point. That's the main point of the story, is to have the antagonist fall. But because you made Sukuna so strong, how would you actually defeat him in a realistic way without having the friendship Nakama power-up assisting in his defeat? I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Akutami can cook up a legit way of Sukuna being defeated, but there is the potential of us seeing the How Asakura route on him being a good guy. But that's a different topic for a different video. But what do you guys think? Do you think Sukuna is too strong of a character? Please comment below your thoughts, guys. And also, comment if you think Akutami has written himself into a corner by making Sukuna so strong. I have faith in Akutami and believe what he is cooking regarding on how Sukuna will be defeated. But do you guys have that same belief? Again, let me know in the comments down below. And as your tribal chief always says, don't forget to subscribe to the Shaman Tribe.